Hey everybody, welcome back to C.Dat.Guy Review Movies. My name's Christian and I just want to say sorry for the delay. I got a headache a couple weeks back and it pretty much sidelined me for a couple of days, and really I'm just still getting used to this quarantine lifestyle. And also, since I knew there was going to be no new movies coming out, I decided to take a break from movies and decided to catch up on some TV shows instead. I ended up watching Tiger King on Netflix, and initially I thought about doing a review on it, but after, sitting down and trying to write one for it, I also decided not to. Don't get me wrong, I thought it was pretty entertaining and I do recommend it, but, the show is already too crazy to begin with. Go ahead and watch it if you want, since it was kind of big for the last couple weeks. Other than that, I just finished season 3 of Brooklyn Nine-Nine after not watching it for a year, and I also recently started rewatching Community again since it's on Netflix. Anyway, hope you're all safe, clean, healthy, and continuing to social distance from each other. But today, I resume my channel by reviewing the movie Coherence. I'm pretty sure not a lot of people have heard about this movie, and when I was doing my research, Coherence came out at Fantastic Fest in 2013 and officially released in the US a year later. And apparently you can find it on both Amazon Prime and Hulu. And with a runtime of only 88 minutes, I decided to give it a shot. I went in not knowing anything about this movie besides the fact that it kept on showing up on underrated sci-fi movie lists, and the first thing I noticed about it was the quality. It felt like I was watching Paranormal Activity or The Room, and I thought it was going to be like a found footage kind of style, but it didn't go that direction. And even though it felt like it was, kind of homemade, it actually didn't look that bad. I don't really have anything negative to say about the actors because I don't really know their acting experience, and I actually didn't recognize most of them, with the exception of the guy who played Mike, because I knew him as Xander from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It turns out they're all friends with the director, but here's the catch. The director specifically chose actors that never worked with each other before, so from what I saw, I wouldn't have known that, because they acted like real friends. The chemistry between them was seamless, it looked so natural, so for that I'm going to have to give props to each actor for pulling that off. I'll try my best not to spoil the whole movie, or at least the very important parts, but the story goes like this. 8 friends reunite at a dinner party hosted by Lee, Beth, and Mike. Mike and Lee are married, Emily and Kevin are a couple, Hugh and Beth are married, and Lori and Amir are dating. Also, it's a bit awkward at the beginning because Kevin and Lori used to date, so that kind of makes Amir look like a jerk for bringing her. Also, there happens to be a comet passing over on the same night. When the power goes out, that's when things start to get weird. Hugh mentions that his brother, who is a quantum physics professor, asked him to call if anything strange is happening while the comet is passing. Hugh and Emily's phones are cracked, the cell towers are down so there's no service or internet, and when they go to check on the neighborhood, they do see that there is a house a couple blocks over that still has their lights on. They light candles for their house, and Mike opens up a box of blue glow sticks. Hugh and Amir take some glow sticks and head over to the house to use their phone. While they're gone, the rest of the group hears a loud knock at the side door, but when they go check it, they don't see anyone there. Mike gets the generator going, and power is back in the house. When the doorbell rings, Hugh and Amir have returned, and that's where things get interesting. Hugh has a cut on his head, and he also grabbed the box. Amir said he grabbed it because he thought he saw Hugh set it down before he ran off. Hugh doesn't remember that, and he doesn't mention what happened. Mike opens up the box, and inside they find a ping pong paddle and pictures of everyone at the party with numbers written on the back. When the group continues to ask Hugh what he saw, he mentions a dinner party set for 8, just like them. He says no one answered the front door, so he knocked on the side door. The group thinks that they got lost and accidentally knocked on their own front door, but Amir verifies that they went to the other house. So, Hugh decides that he'll just go back to the house again to see if anyone answers. If not, he'll just leave a note. Hugh writes down a note, but they hear a noise and Beth freaks out. Mike says he sees a big guy at the front door. When Kevin checks the door, he finds a note and sees it's the exact same note that Hugh just wrote down. And that's just the first half hour of the movie. The movie becomes a huge mystery of what's going on. They're not sure if things are real or if they're just hallucinating. They reference Schrodinger's cat and the movie Sliding Doors as a basis for what they think is going on. Alright, major spoiler alert incoming, so if you want to skip it, go ahead and click the video at this time to avoid it. You have been warned. 3, 2, 1. based on when they see copies of themselves with red glow sticks across the street and when they find quantum physics notes in Hugh's car, they hypothesize that the comet has somehow created a split reality. They also believe that the house down the street is just an alternate version of theirs. Alright, spoiler alert, over. When they slowly start realizing what's happening, the group reacts in different ways. Most of them just want to stay in the house and want the night to be over. Mike is freaking out the most and begins plotting things. And as the night goes on, there's twists and reveals that occur that back up their theories, but also break their theories. I actually had to watch this movie twice to make sure I understood the details as presented, and when I watched it the second time, it turns out there were probably clues that kind of explain what's going on that show up earlier than I thought. And the movie does a good job of explaining itself just well enough as the characters are understanding it, but also it could have been inconsistent based on the rules that were set up. But that's probably up to interpretation because the director might have snuck in small details to keep viewers on their toes and guessing what's actually happening and when it's actually happening. The fact that I'm trying to make sense of what I saw means the movie lives up to its title. I'm just trying to find the coherence in the story. I will say this is one of the more creative movies I've ever seen, and I'm more impressed because this only had a budget of $50,000. But then again, I think low budgets tend to yield more creative ideas, and this movie was well executed and acted, and it really transformed a laid back story with a simple setting into a house of chaos with complex ideas. And as a bonus, the rewatch factor may make this movie better or more frustrating the more times you see it. You just have to pay attention to the dialogue, the facial expressions, and even minor details in the background. So for that, I'll give this movie an 8 out of 10. It's one of those movies that made me question reality, and that's either because it has some compelling ideas, or maybe it's because my mind is really deteriorating through this lockdown. Either way, I recommend to see that movie. Alright guys, so there's my review of Coherence. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree? Let me know in the comment section down below. And go ahead and give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down, I don't care. But if you want to see more movie reviews from this guy, go ahead and click the subscribe button right up here. Or if you want to see my previous review, go ahead and click the video right up here. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!